really addressing the community's needs or instead hampering business growth. That's a quick recap of the day's top local stories from Radio Cayman's newsroom. I'm April Cummings.
Radio Cayman, the voice of the Cayman Islands.
April Cummings, Radio Cayman News.
I'm Carsley Fuller.
I'm Dion Anglin.
I'm Shanda Gallego.
Radio Cayman's Information Hour, produced by April Cummings, Carsley Fuller, Dion Anglin, Shanda Gallegos. If you see news happening, contact our newsroom, 949-7799. Radio Cayman News, the ultimate in news and information. Follow Radio Cayman on Twitter. All the latest information, breaking news, community events, and more. Follow us at twitter.com/Radio Cayman.
For the health of it, Radio Cayman's premier health show is brought to you by Healthcare Pharmacy, the Cayman Islands Civil Service Association, Holy Cross Hospital, GNC, and EatingClean.com.
This is For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
Hi, and welcome to For the Health of It. In the studio with me this evening is
Marlene Gagnon.
Yes, thank you. She's a psychotherapist, and we're going to be continuing our series, Healing the Wounds of the Soul, right after these messages from our sponsors.
We believe that every life matters, and we are all connected. One community, one people.
No matter where you live, Holy Cross Hospital of South Florida is breaking down the borders that should not exist in advanced healthcare.
At Holy Cross Hospital, we have opened our doors to the world, bringing you exceptional healthcare.
The multicultural staff features doctors and nurses providing top quality, compassionate healthcare while making patients feel at home.
Our Holy Cross International Services team provides guidance to patients and their families throughout their travel, accommodations, and recovery.
Quality medical care and advanced technology with sincere compassion and understanding. Your trusted health partner for life.
Learn more about Holy Cross Hospital. Email international@holy-cross.com or call 954-351-5906.
Live with pride. Live strong. Live with love. Live with hope. Live long. And be the best you can be. Live well, GNC.
The science doesn't lie. The key to achieving your health goals is through the proper knowledge of nutrition.
From moms to babies, kids to seniors, vegan to pro performance and wellness, GNC sets the standards in nutritional science.
Their experienced team of professionals are ready to support you in achieving your goals with 2 convenient locations in Countryside Shopping Village in Savannah and Queens Court on West Bay Road.
And join the GNC community and take advantage of their discount days, the first 7 business days of every month and every Wednesday.
Take control of your health and body today with GNC.
Believe in the power of nutrition.
Live well, GNC.
Did you know that becoming a member of the Cayman Islands Civil Service Association is a quick and easy process, and the benefits are immense? It's as simple as completing the enrollment form, which you can find on the website www.cicsa.ky, and return it to any member of the Management Council or Secretary Ms. Zita Bodden at the Registrar's Office on the first floor of the Government Administration Building. It's only $5 per month, which is automatically deducted from your salary. Yes, it's that easy. Remember, the Cayman Islands Civil Service Association membership is open to all civil servants, statutory authority employees, government company employees, and all retired civil servants. CICSA, promoting and protecting the welfare of our members.
Once upon a time, we ate from the land and sea. We may not have had much growing up, but we had healthy foods.
It's time to wake back up to natural eating. EatingClean.com is the island's premier 100% born Caymanian-owned cooked-to-order meal prepping service. Fresh, locally and responsibly sourced ingredients. No processed soy and GMO foods. From breakfast to lunches, meat to vegan, juices and smoothies. Experience tasty meals for as low as $9. Visit EatingClean.com to view their menu or place your order. Deliveries are free, including reusable plates and bags. Monthly and corporate specials are available. Visit EatingClean.com. That's clean with a K. EatingKlean.com. Or call 328-8655. Wake back up to quality foods with EatingClean.com.
This is For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
Hello and welcome to The Health of It. I'm going to lean in, and for you out there in Radio Land, you can't see this, but I'm going to be starting our Facebook page live, and I'm also standing up for most of this show, and the reason for that, and Marlene Gaillon, my guest here, she is sitting down. The reason for that is I'm in a challenge to stand 25% more time because us humans are sitting down too much. Being sedentary is the new smoking, so I encourage you all to stand up a little bit more at a time. Anyway, Marlene, welcome back.
Hello, hi. I feel very little, though, while you stand like this.
Yes, sorry. I apologize up front.
Maybe next time I'll stand up, too.
Yes.
Yes.
I did not prepare you. You look lovely this evening. So we are talking about Wounds of the Soul. It's a book written by, you pronounce her name because you're French-Canadian.
Yeah, Lise Barbeau.
Okay.
Yes.
And it's about healing the wounds of the soul. Last week, you have such a wonderful synopsis of what we did last week. Why don't you
talk about? Well, I'll just give a summary then of what we did. So her book, Lise Barbeau, talks about mainly the defense mechanisms that we can develop in childhood in response to hurt that we experience through our relationship with our parents. So some of us we may feel rejected, like she talks about the wounds. So we may feel rejected, full of rejection, abandoned, humiliated, betrayed, or also that we've been treated unfairly. So Lise Barbeau, what's interesting about her thesis is that she says that because of these wounds, we have to develop defense mechanisms. That's the way we develop our personality. And these defense mechanisms, although they help us to survive and become the beautiful people who we are today, they also interfere with having health. Well, healthy. I don't like to the word healthy, but they make us suffer in life, and they create difficult relationships. We have difficulties in our relationships, and often we suffer in life, and we are there wondering what's wrong, and we don't realize that maybe it's because of the defense mechanisms we developed. Yeah. So that's a bit what we talked about last week, and then also we emphasize more on the wound of rejection.
Yeah, which wears the mask of rejection, and as I understand it, this mask is more of our ego. We put on the skin or this mask when we feel like we're about to be hurt, and it keeps us from being hurt, but it also keeps us from progressing in life. Tonight, we're going to cover the wound of abandonment, and I suffered from this a bit when I was younger. This wound has the mask of dependency, and it starts with the parent of the opposite sex at the age of 0 to 8. It says 3 years old, but I think it's a little longer. It depends. The people who suffer from the wound of abandonment are long, thin, lack tone. Their body comes across as weak and sagged. Your back is kind of rounded, and your eyes are big and sad, and it draws you in. And the vocabulary is, I can't stand, I feel I'm being eaten alive by my children, or something like that. You have difficulty deciding alone, making decisions alone, and one of your big things is you can't stand the idea of being alone. so you come across as quite needy. The other thing is you cry easily, you attract pity. Some of your sicknesses, you have asthma. Apparently people who suffer this wound are also agoraphobic.
Agoraphobic?
Yes.
They fear crowds?
Yes.
Yeah.
And tend to stay at home more. And they come across as very victim-y. All right. So these are, when you suffer this wound, this is kind of how you are coming across or how you show up in your world. Now, why does this matter? Why have I brought this show on and covering 5 weeks of it? The reason is because I want people to understand there's a context in which we operate in the world, okay? And each one of us is unique, but we all have our egos are protecting us. And we might come across as a child. We might come across as someone who's controlling. We might come across as someone who's withdrawing in the background, not enough. So look at where you're coming from. This is so important. And I'm so pleased to have people out there looking at this show because we're on Facebook and YouTube. What I'd like to see is if you could send us any questions, all right? You can WhatsApp it to me or you can do it on the Facebook Live. Marlene's here to answer that. So Marlene, how does this person with the fear of abandonment show up in say, a relationship?
Okay. So Lise Barbeau talks about the mask of dependency. Well, you did say it a little bit. Although go ahead. Yeah, I'd like to say what is interesting about what you said earlier. You gave the signs of what it looks like when you're a dependent person. So that's I find that it can be like too much defining and not necessarily true. Mm-hmm. But I find it also sometimes very useful because it's hard to recognize when we're wounded. Yes. Usually we it's more like we suffer in life, but we don't realize that there's something that might be going on. So when you give these that description, well, then sometimes it's like we have signs, other signs that help us, and then we can, if we give them to ourselves a little bit, we can ask ourselves, okay, well, am I... should I look at myself? Is there something that stops me from having the relationships that I wish I would have?
Also, she said in her book is that we tend to flock in the same crowd. So, in other words, other people in your life are showing up the way you do. They mightn't have the wound as deeply as you do, or they might have it to a lesser degree or a bigger degree. So, if you are needy. And you see where this other person in your life is needy. Let me backtrack a little bit. The suffering of these wounds can be pretty profound, okay? Because I think I was pretty good up to when I was in my 40s. And then I started discovering, man, I'm keep doing the same things over and over, but I want something different. What do I have to do? So I went on a course of self-discovery. And the more aware I become, the more I realize all of us, all human beings are pretty much alike.
Yeah, we all have our vulnerabilities and we all have our suffering.
Yeah.
And it's easy to go on with life without acknowledging them.
Yes.
And just like with no awareness, with no consciousness. But it's true that when we start a process of discovery, it's never ending. It's really stimulating.
Yes.
It can be very stimulating.
So our ego is set there to help us to protect ourselves. All right. And by wearing the mask of dependency, we are continuously putting ourselves in not being available, not getting the love that we want.
Often we like the description of a needy person. I guess in love relationship is easy to understand because most of us heard about that. When often in a couple you have someone who's really you feel like, and it's often unfortunately, but it's often like the woman would be needy and the man would be avoidant, and those type. It seems like. When you're not sure about yourself and when you have this fear of abandonment, you will seek a partner that is avoidant. And the same for the person who's avoidant. It's two faces of the same coin. A person who's avoidant will also seek a person who's needy to reassure them and validate them in who they are. Mm-hmm. So as long. When we realize, that's another way to realize, when we realize that we're in a pattern, when you said earlier, I don't want to be in those relationships, and I continue doing them. So when we realize that the type of relationships we attract are not necessarily fulfilling and we feel needy or we feel it's suffering, then there's a place of, I'd like to understand what's going on. And if we examine a little bit of the past, if we come to understand what went on with our parents and how we value ourselves, which is probably very little, we probably think that we are not desirable, we are not valuable, so we settle for someone who's going to be avoidant, and it's just going to continue the same cycle.
Yeah. So breaking this. I see we got quite a number of people joining us. Lori and Shirley Nicoletta, Deldy, Jen Dixon. So thank you all for joining us. I'm not sure if I'm supposed to call you out, but
yeah.
We're going to today.
It won't happen again.
So. If you have any questions, please call us at 1-800-534-8255, or you could WhatsApp me or PM me on Facebook to discover your pattern and how to break it. As Marlene asked me last week, why do I want this? Because...
It seemed because the book resonated with you a lot. It doesn't resonate with me as much.
Right.
But there was something that seemed to resonate so much with you. I said, okay, well, let me try to make sense of this and see. And I understood, you see, obviously you had a great motivation for it.
Yes. I mean, in our society, I think 40 years ago, 20 years ago, we were really taught to hide our emotions and keep them in check. Okay. The world has changed, all right? And we realize that being vulnerable is what we need.
Yeah.
So checking in more with our emotions, looking at why we are in this operating system.
It's interesting that you mentioned that, because I was reading today an article on evolutionary theory, psychology. And again, they were saying that the emotions we have, they were part of survival strategies.
Yes.
So, for example, feeling rejected, it's important because it's the threat. It's showing us that we are not accepted by the group. And in the past, being part of the group was necessary for survival.
Yes.
So if you didn't feel rejection, you wouldn't adapt your behavior, and it was very dangerous. So all the emotions, according to evolutionary theory, all the emotions we have are there for a reason. And if we give them to ourselves, we did say that earlier in other shows, but when we give them to ourselves, they become essential tools to live our life.
Yes.
And yeah. No, that's it. No,
okay.
It was just
It's about uncovering your context and being super aware that if you are seeing your life as someone who is going to be abandoned, okay, you are creating a wound or a mass of dependency. So you come across as victimy, needy, all right? And how do you heal this? What do you need to do to really step up and say, what am I going to do differently?
Yeah. It looks so simple, the answer, though. It always, every time I give it, every time we talk about it, it feels like, but it's really that, it always starts with acknowledging. Acknowledging that, first of all, we're not happy in a relationship. So this acknowledgement leads us usually to a process of quest, introspection, the one you did, the one I did. It's not everybody, like, it doesn't fit with everyone, that process, but often we acknowledge and then we can start to examine.
Yeah.
So where does that come from? And then once we examine, usually what we can do is that we can rebuild a story. The story of our past. Our past is one scenario, like some types of relationships that we learned, but it doesn't mean that we cannot affect them. And once we start acknowledging, there's already an awareness that makes us just shift a little bit, and already the direction we take is different. So the first step is always acknowledging, examining. Never judge ourselves. Never judge ourselves for who we are.
Yes.
Saying being needy. Of course, that's quite pejorative. But realizing that we always scared of being rejected, or that's important, and we cannot judge it.
And being needed. Being needed, I think, is in our value system. It's just that this person goes just one little bit too far with that edge. Feeling the need to be needed, I don't think is quote unquote a bad thing.
No.
Okay. But when you manipulate and do things to make this, turn that person into your, you come across as a victim and you need saving all the time, that's when you need to start looking at it. Now, can I just say, when you said a relationship, it's not just a relationship. It's relationships at work. It's how you are showing up, not just
how we relate.
Yes, it's not just
our being. Our being is affected.
Yeah.
Yes.
So these wounds are really in our soul. They're not.
We're relational beings, though.
Yes.
So it is like our being in relationships that because a wound alone doesn't create any problem.
Right.
So it's the wound is problematic as soon as we want to relate with others in society.
And our egos aren't bad things, but we have to be aware of it and how it stops us from being who we want to be.
Exactly.
Okay? Mm-hmm. Because my ego really always stops me from. I need to be perfect, even though I mess up so much on this show. You have no idea, but the amount of courage it takes me to come on this air most of the time is just like Hercules some days, all right? Having said that, it is, I am learning how just to make, in fact, 2019, it's do it. Make it messy, just do it, all right? It doesn't care. I don't have to be right. It doesn't have to be perfect. It doesn't even have to be excellent. I just have to do it. All right. And that's what I encourage you to do.
So what you're saying, but I think I understand what you're saying. You're saying when we give ourselves a wound, there's more chance that we're going to take risk of who we are, right? Now, the mask of needing to be perfect, you'll allow yourself to be imperfect.
Yeah.
Someone who never says anything so they don't get angry, they'll allow themselves to say more and then take the risk to be angry a bit more.
Or
things like that?
Or anger the other person, because I grew up learning to be polite. That was where I was. Don't hurt anybody else's feelings, and I didn't have feelings. That's what I was taught. And not anything against my parents. Oh gosh, all right. It's just what I heard, how I internalized things. Now at 56, I'm learning to ask for what I need. Mm-hmm. It's not comfortable. I'll more than likely get up and get my own glass of water, but sometimes when I'm tired, I'll say, hey, can you get me a glass of water? All right. It's more than that, but I'm not going to go on air just how this year has been extremely uncomfortable for me.
And despite of that, you want to celebrate who you are.
Yes.
And you want to realize your full potential.
Yeah.
That's the idea. So when we constantly suffer and we remain prisoners of our wounds, then there's less chance that we'll realize the full potential.
There's no chance, I would assert. I mean, if you keep, well, maybe God's intervention can help you get there, okay? But at the same time, I think if we have to look at who we are, how we're showing up, ask people, how am I showing up? Okay.
Yeah, yeah, that's fine. We can ask. That's really brave. But usually people tell us, though. Usually, like, the people around us react to us. And if we listen to... what happens is that when they react to us, we receive that as an accusation.
Yes.
When sometimes they're trying to tell us something.
Yes.
So that's another sign. Every time someone is trying to tell us something, we feel accused rather than wondering, okay, does it make sense what they're telling me? Are they telling something about me?
Yes.
Sometimes they could be saying it's hard to be close to you. In whatever they say, it's hard to be close to you. So if we get that message, okay, well, if it's hard to be close to me, what is it? Like, what belongs to me? What is it that I can look at?
Right.
Or if someone tells, they're talking to you and they say, I can't take you anymore, like you're asking too much, or I feel that I'm suffocating. So we can feel accused and we can try to put it on the other person.
Yeah.
But maybe they're telling us something as well, and the difficulty in the relationship. So that's those things we can also try when we have the chance, when we're fortunate enough to have someone who relate to us, even in accusation, in an anger. But when we have that and we are able to face it and see, does it make sense?
Yes.
What they're telling me. So then that's a great help also in our life.
Yeah, and learning maybe just to not be defensive, but take it on and say, okay, I heard you. What can I do about it? Mm-hmm. What am I willing to do about it? And we're getting close to the end time. So how are we going to... That step one is to create awareness of what happens throughout your day and what mask you may be wearing or how you're reacting to a situation. Maybe journal about it. And as you said, no judgments. Forgive yourself. Resist the urge to blame?
Mm-hmm. Start a process of investigation.
Mm-hmm.
Like you said it earlier, like if you suffer, don't deny it.
Yes.
Look at it and then maybe and then try to make sense of it.
Don't keep stuffing it down.
Mm-hmm.
Otherwise, it's going to bubble up and you're going to continue on the same path.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And if you want something with your life, if you want your husband or your wife to give you more affection, or you want to create more money or more success in your life, well, ask yourself, what am I doing wrong? All right. Am I doing anything wrong? And also part of this process is learning to be really happy where you're at too.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the forgiveness is.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes. We always have to have empathy for ourselves. We have to, that there's a sentence that I really like. It's whatever you are today, it's how you survived, and it made you the beautiful person you are today.
Yes.
So it's not about changing something that is not good. Who we are is perfect.
Yes.
It's just that if we want to go realize more of our potential, then we can give ourselves more, and then we go for it.
I mean, the person with the abandonment wound, when they're healed, they are they're okay to be alone. Okay, they have more understanding about projects. They don't need support from others. They're really what is this one over here? They're social. They're quite social beings. They're able to make demands. Great acting skills. So most of our actors.
So these is it when we heal,
yes.
Right? It's the potential.
Yes.
Right. We can be from a person who's being seen as needy,
mm-hmm.
and then when we give ourselves that wound and we go through it, then we can develop all that, like what you were just
become
mentioning.
the social butterfly we want.
Reliable and knowing that we can do things on our own.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
So next week, now that we have a little bit of time, Marlene.
Yeah.
What?
Okay.
What is the book that you're reading to inspire our audience?
Oh, you mean like a book that I like?
Yes.
Okay. Well, I have a few, but recently, like I did the book that really like what is it? Touched me the most. Homo Sapiens. Okay. Homo Sapiens by A Brief History of Humankind by Yuval Noah Harari.
Oh.
So that's if you want to understand a little bit of it explains it. It gives you a total understanding of where we are today, and it's really it reads like a novel. It was one of the books like you go to bed and it's like, oh yes, I'm going to read my book, as good as a novel.
What was it that made you turn the pages? Well,
maybe it answered it answer questions you ask at this moment, right? Sometimes I just wanted to understand the world and how come we are where we are today, and it did answer, but it was also an easy read. It's not complicated.
Okay, good.
So that was good.
What was one of your what is some of the music that you like?
Okay, well, I don't know if other people saw the movie recently, but Bohemian Rhapsody. So I just became obsessed with Queen and all their music. So these days, and I also turned into opera. So Maria Callas and Queen. So
okay, well, we're gonna end the show there. Next week we're going to come back with The Wound of Humiliation. So tune in, and you can email us or WhatsApp me your questions about The Wound of Humiliation. Marlene, thanks for being on for the health of it.
Thank you, Tara.
All right. Yep. I really appreciate it. Leading you to the life you want.
Live with pride. Live strong. Live with love. Live with hope. Live long. And be the best you can be. Live well, GNC.
The science doesn't lie. The key to achieving your health goals is through the proper knowledge of nutrition.
From moms to babies, kids to seniors, vegan to pro performance and wellness, GNC sets the standards in nutritional science.
Their experienced team of professionals are ready to support you in achieving your goals, with 2 convenient locations in Countryside Shopping Village in Savannah and Queen's Court on West Bay Road.
And join the GNC community and take advantage of their discount days, the first 7 business days of every month and every Wednesday.
Take control of your health and body today with GNC.
Believe in the power of nutrition.
Live well, GNC.
Refilling and transferring your prescriptions have never been this easy. Simply go to healthcarepharmacy.ky and follow the easy directions from your desktop, mobile device, or tablet. All you need to do is pop into Healthcare Pharmacy in Grand Harbor to collect your prescription. They're open 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. Monday through Saturday and 10 till 6 on Sundays and public holidays. No waiting in line, no wasting your lunch hour, no stress. Just easy online prescription refills and transfers from the pharmacy that has been caring about your health for 25 years. Call 947-8900 to speak to a pharmacist or go to healthcarepharmacy.ky and make life easy.
Did you know that becoming a member of the Cayman Islands Civil Service Association is a quick and easy process, and the benefits are immense? It's as simple as completing the enrollment form, which you can find on the website www.cicsa.ky, and return it to any member of the Management Council or Secretary Ms. Zita Bodden at the Registrar's Office on the first floor of the Government Administration Building. It's only $5 per month, which is automatically deducted from your salary. Yes, it's that easy. Remember, the Cayman Islands Civil Service Association membership is open to all civil servants, statutory authority employees, government company employees, and all retired civil servants. CICSA, promoting and protecting the welfare of our members.
We believe that every life matters, and we are all connected. One community, one people.
No matter where you live, Holy Cross Hospital of South Florida is breaking down the borders that should not exist in advanced healthcare.
At Holy Cross Hospital, we have opened our doors to the world, bringing you exceptional healthcare.
The multicultural staff features doctors and nurses providing top quality, compassionate healthcare while making patients feel at home.
Our Holy Cross International Services team provides guidance to patients and their families throughout their travel, accommodations, and recovery.
Quality medical care and advanced technology with sincere compassion and understanding. Your trusted health partner for life.
Learn more about Holy Cross Hospital. Email international@holy-cross.com or call 954-351-5906.
Once upon a time, We ate from the land and sea. We may not have had much growing up, but we had healthy foods. It's time to wake back up to natural eating. EatingClean.com is the island's premier 100% born Caymanian-owned cooked-to-order meal prepping service. Fresh, locally and responsibly sourced ingredients. No processed soy and GMO foods. From breakfast to lunches, meat to vegan, juices and smoothies. Experience tasty meals for as low as $9. Visit EatingClean.com to view their menu or place your order. Deliveries are free, including reusable plates and bags. Monthly and corporate specials are available. Visit eatingclean.com. That's clean with a K. EATINGKLEAN.com or call 328-8655. Wake back up to quality foods with eatingclean.com.
For the health of it, Radio Cayman's premier health show was brought to you by Healthcare Pharmacy, the Cayman Islands Civil Service Association, Holy Cross Hospital, GNC, and EatingClean.com.
This is For the Health of It with Tara Bush.
District to district, moving through the waters to Cayman Brac and Little Cayman. Your station, your voice. All things Cayman, one radio, many people. This is home.
Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands.
Oh, I love this beat. What do you call it? We call it the cow itch.
I've tried the short roads to being a man. Beautiful, beautiful shoreline. Oh, Cayman moon.
Cayman all-time favorites.
Poor old Robert. Poor old Robert.
Here he comes, Osito. Come to spray mosquito. All the girls in line, they say, Louis, please spray mine.
Cayman all-time favorites begins right now.